Hey, this is John, and
This is Steph.
we are here to try something new. It's new for us. It was Steph's idea. I'll give her all the credit.
That's right.
It was to pick a band a week, or a band every couple of weeks, or however often we do it, and pick 5 songs that we feel are the best songs from that band. Okay? This is no science, and we're not musicians. We're just big fans of certain bands, and we thought it would be a great idea. Steph did, and I also jumped on the bandwagon, that it would be good to introduce, even if one person finds this interesting. It's mostly just for self-indulgence, because we enjoy talking about bands and saying, what's your favorite album, what's your favorite song? So that's why we're here, just to have a little fun. And the first band we chose, if probably can't read our shirts, well, you can't read Steph's, but is King's X. And we just felt it would be cool to start with a band that's been very underappreciated.
Definitely.
Underappreciated, right? And they've been around for a long time. I think just over, how many years? 40 years. It's unbelievable. And my memories, because I'm a little older than Steph, just a little, of King's X was that they really were popular in the early 90s. Late 80s, early 90s was, I saw some MTV videos and I thought, wow, that's an interesting band, kind of proggy. And I liked them. So I listened to them a little bit, and then they kind of faded to obscurity. And then probably about 12 years ago, I kind of rediscovered them again, and I said, wait, this band really has a lot to offer. One thing we should point out about King's X is there are just 3 guys in the band.
That's right. It's Doug Pinnick on bass, Ty Tabor guitar, and Jerry Gaskell on drums.
Yep, it's just 3 guys, and I'm really into trios. My favorite band is Rush.
Great
and thank you. And King's X is another trio. It's just fascinating to me that 3 people, men or women, can just make such incredible music. It's just fascinating to me that 3 can do that.
Yeah, what sound. I mean, wow, what a talented band. And also, they all sing. They all have songs that they sing. Doug does most of the vocals, but always great to have a Ty song or a Jerry song. It's just so awesome all around. Just a great group of guys. Great talent.
Yep. One memory I remember actually is I went to the '94 Woodstock, and that was one of their shining moments. A lot of people remember Woodstock '94, and they were on a side stage, so I missed it, which is one of my biggest live music regrets to this day. Why didn't I just move over to the side stage instead of going to the main stage to see King's X? But again, they kind of faded from my mind back then, so I really wasn't into them in the 90s. So that's a big regret. Could have seen them. One interesting quote was from another band that we love. The Pearl Jam bassist, Jeff Ament, said that King's X invented grunge. I think that's the quote. Which is pretty amazing. So they really had a lot of influence back in the day on grunge, prog metal, and but they have influences of so many different kinds of music. They're so funky, and
love how funky they are. How they just mix prog and metal all together. Definitely, King's X has such a unique sound. I don't think any other band just comes close to their sound at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got really deep, heavy bass from Doug, and his bass playing is just amazing. And it's very hard hitting, so that's where the metal comes from, and kind of very deep, bluesy sound. But they are very melodic, and they're gorgeous singing voices. And again, most of the songs are sung by Doug, but Ty sings a couple, and he's got an amazing voice. So they're really, really talented.
Definitely, definitely. And if you go to one of their shows, I mean, it's multi-generational. You do not just get one group. I mean, there's younger people, older people, and it's just really, really always a great vibe when you get to go see them live, and hopefully we get to see them again soon.
And because they're our little secret, because they're not very popular, they're very accessible. I mean, you could walk right up to the front row if you want. And the most amazing thing is, what other band can you go see and you can meet them after the show? They almost always do a meet and greet. We've met them at least 4 or 5 times. And every single time they talk, they take a picture with you, and they're just such down-to-earth sweethearts.
Definitely.
So
super sweet, just humble guys. Really appreciate the fans, and that's just really great. The energy that they give off every time you see them at a show, and the way they talk to the crowd is just always a blast.
all right, so we'll get into it. So again, the premise is we each picked 5 of our favorite songs from the band, and we're going to go one at a time. It has not been revealed beforehand, so we're just going to learn it right now, who our 5 are. And I'll let Steph go first. If we have any overlaps, those are the real big winners, right? So go ahead, you go first, Steph.
So to start, I'm going to start with the heavy one, and that is Pillow. Pillow is definitely one of my favorite songs. When you go to a show and they play it, oh man, I mean, the energy of the crowd, I mean, what a song. I mean, talk about heavy. I mean, all of the drums, guitar, bass, really, I mean, you really get to hear Doug's bass. It's just so awesome. Definitely, I think a crowd favorite.
Yeah, it starts out with Doug's bass, actually, and we have our first match. We started off,
Look at that.
So Pillow is definitely one of my favorite King's X songs. Again, just from the opening riff, it's just amazing, and it hooks you in, and it's a phenomenal song. Really one of my favorites. So, wow. I hope we don't have all matches, but now I'll go. All right. So you said Pillow. I said Pillow. Flies and Blue Skies, off of the same album that Pillow is off of, which is Dogman, which is a great album. Flies and Blue Skies, just, again, a gorgeous bluesy song. One quote that I picked from the song is, "The just and the unjust all walk side by side." I just love that line. It kind of sticks in my head, and just think it's a great song off Dogman.
Great choice, great album. Definitely love Dogman for sure.
And it wasn't on your list?
Not on my list. No.
Right.
So I'm gonna pick Summerland, and that is from Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. I think it's one of the most beautiful melodic songs, and just definitely love the vocals. Again, I think it's just such a great thing. You can get those really heavy songs and then such beautiful melodic ones. So again, definitely one of my favorites.
And a very popular one, for sure.
Definitely.
Yep. All right, I'll go next. I said Prisoner, off of their self-titled 4th album, King's X. And again, just a song that I actually discovered fairly late in listening to King's X. I didn't really listen to the self-titled album for some reason. It was the Gretchen Goes to Nebraska album, or Faith, Hope, Love, Out of the Silent Planet. But when I got to their self-titled album and I heard Prisoner, I was like, whoa, blown away. And it kind of talks about how we're a prisoner to our past sins and things that we can't reconcile. And Ty's got an incredible solo in this song. And it's just got a great hook and melody in the chorus. And again, I think the lyrics speak a lot in the King's X songs about kind of internal guilt and how we deal with feelings of past regrets. And we'll talk about some other themes that are in a lot of King's X songs, but that's definitely one of them. Kind of like regrets and learning to love yourself again for who you are. And I might as well point out now, I meant to say this, is that when King's X first started, they kind of got the label as a Christian rock band, but that really dropped pretty quickly because it was clear from what they were singing about that they weren't just a Christian rock band, and they actually have a lot of songs that are kind of anti-religion and the negatives to religious dogma.
That's true, and that's a great segue into my next pick, which is Pray. Pray is definitely, early on, one of my favorite songs. Just, wow, amazing to hear Doug's vocals, all around. I mean, really, just the power of that song, you definitely feel it, and when you get to catch a live show and they play that song, I mean, wow, definitely, one of like my highlight favorites.
And that's off of 15, right?
Yep, 15.
Okay. Yeah, that is an amazing song. Is that the opener for that album? I think it is.
It is, yeah.
I think it is. But, see, again, we're not experts and we're not musicians, so don't look to us for any real expertise. Just two goof-offs. Anyway, my next one is from the same album, which is Love and Rockets, in parentheses, Hell's Screaming, which is just an incredible song, but I literally just found this out that it was a bonus on that album. So when I listened to that album, that song always, I was like, holy shit, let's play that one again. But I just found out that was a bonus. There was 2 bonus songs, so it wasn't even meant to be on the original album. But to me, it's just an amazing song. I think it's political. I love when bands kind of show their politics, and it's a diatribe against hate for others who have different beliefs than you. Okay, a little bit like Pray. Again, it's kind of the same theme of don't judge me lest you be judged yourself. So it's a tirade. Doug goes on a tirade in the song against racism, against wars in the name of religion and sexism. And again, that's the kind of shit that I really get off on. I think it's awesome. And it's a dark-toned song. They have beautiful melodies in their music, but I love when they get really dark, and this song is just like, no bullshit, we're not here to smile all the time, and the world's not always a rosy place. And obviously in the crisis we're going through now kind of hits home even more. Like, there's a lot of bullshit out there and a lot of bullshit leaders leading us down bad paths, and again, this song talks about that in my heart.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think that song definitely speaks to a lot of people, and again, like with everything going on right now, definitely a song that, resonates with us right now, and just that kind of like darkness of it is just really, really intense, and it's definitely one of the favorite songs of mine. And then I'm now going to pick Lost in Germany. I think Lost in Germany is, I would call it King's X classic. I think it gives you all the elements of King's X. I think if there was a song I would tell someone to try out to listen to for the first time, I would pick Lost in Germany for sure. I mean, just, again, all around, the composition, I think it's just, I think one of the most unique songs. And I can't say that about many songs out there, but definitely a great one to see live. Definitely recommended, and yeah, that's actually from their self-titled album, King's X.
Wow, so we got a couple off that album.
Yeah.
It's a good album. And that is, again, like one of their top songs, I would say. Almost any King's X, even casual fan, probably knows that song. Yeah, it's a good one, but it's not on my list. So wait, was that number 5 for you? Yeah, that was your 5th. Yeah, because I'm on 5.
I'm on number 4.
Oh, okay. We screwed up somehow. Or maybe because we had the repeat. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so my 5th is, I'm going to cheat here because I picked 2. All right? I picked Vegetable and The World Around Me. Okay?
Nice.
Vegetable is off the lesser-known Manic Moonlight, and it's a great bluesy groove. The riff starts off right away and just catches you. And World Around Me is just an amazing song. Again, if you're even a halfway fan of King's X, you know that song. But both are amazing. Vegetable is live, it's great, and they do play it most of the time. I think we've seen it at least 3 or 4 times live. It gives them a little room to improv. So when they play it, they go off on little solos of their own and get to jam on that song. So Vegetable is just a great bluesy tune.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. I would agree. Now I'm going to pick I Just Want to Live. I definitely think it's such a great song. Love Ty's voice on it. Just, again, all around great song. And that's what's so great about King's X. You get really those heavy riffs, and then you get songs like I Just Want to Live. And it's just such a great, just all around how they can go from melodic, ballady almost songs, and then really heavy, dark songs. And I think that's just, again, what makes them unique. It's really, really fun. And just like John said, there's a lot of songs I think of King's X, like Black Flag, I think is also just another incredible song.
Black Flag's an amazing song. Check that out.
Definitely check that out. Again, Cigarettes, love Cigarettes. I think that's another really, really awesome song.
A little bit of soul.
A little bit of soul. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that sometimes when you listen to King's X, I think, holy shit, it sounds like the Beatles. It's like Beatlesque. Because again, their harmonies are just amazing. But then I'm like, wait, this sounds like Black Sabbath and the Beatles all at the same time. So they really, really mix it all. And yeah, very, very funky band. So you get the funk, you get the blues, you get heavy metal, it's a little bit of everything. And that to me is really where progressive comes from. It's mixing different genres of music and putting it all together into something that's very complex. And their harmonies, when you add that on, it's just amazing.
Oh, yeah. Talk about harmonies. My goodness.
Just fantastic.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Yeah, you can definitely hear the Beatles influence when you listen to King's X, and, from the early stuff. And I think I'm also just super amazed at how they, from their early stuff to their later stuff, I mean, that album 15, I'm just, I can't believe, like, from Dogman to 15, like, just amazing. I mean, talk about, just solid albums they, continue to come out with. So definitely a great one. And as you heard, I picked 2 songs from 15, so definitely one of my favorite albums.
And we only had one overlap.
Yep, that's right.
Which is Pillow. Yep.
Again, definitely love the riffs. If you're into King's X, you know you love the riffs. I mean, definitely, just wow. Just incredible sound. Like they just blow you away. They really are a band that blows you away with their music and their energy. And again, when you get to see them live, it's just nothing but love. That's their message, and they're not shy to say that.
Yeah, and speaking of, I think one of their best songs also that wasn't on either of our lists, and I don't know quite why, but it's Over My Head.
Yep.
And like Steph was just saying about loving yourself. Over My Head is a song about, Doug talks about his grandmother and living and hearing her listen to her gospel music and preaching religion, and she was very, religious Christian, and she would preach a lot, but she didn't preach to Doug to love himself. So she didn't really give much love, but she talked about God and Jesus. And I think his message in that song, which is great, when you see it live, it's just, first of all, it was made to listen to it live.
Yeah.
Studio version's okay, but live, it's just, they just go off. And Doug has gets a little preachy in the middle about the importance of loving yourself. And if you're different, if you're gay, if you're into different things that aren't so accepted in society, that's okay. You be you. As long as you're not hurting others, you should love yourself. And I think that's a great message. And that's like my favorite part of seeing them live, is like, what's Doug going to say tonight to make me feel good about myself?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the highlights of the night when you get to see a King's X show and Doug. I mean, again, the energy, again, a whole room of people who may not know each other, but it really brings you together. And it's, about the inclusivity, and that's the message that you do get from Doug and the band. So that's really, really awesome and really important. You really get that feel when you go see them.
Yep. So, hey, I know we probably bored you to going to sleep, but you don't have to take the Ambien tonight. But it was fun. We had fun.
Yeah, no, this is great. Definitely. King's X. Check them out.
Yep. And we'll introduce another band next week that we love and see how we can do with them.
Awesome.
Take care.
Guys.